Hey you guys, we hope you're doing really well. We've got a fun planting project today. We've got to get some hydrangeas planted. We're going to show you all the plants.
Hey guys, we've got some beautiful hydrangeas, flowerful hydrangeas from First Editions. They're brand new for this year. We're gonna put them in some pleat containers from Crescent Garden. We're gonna do some other plantings around them. Allison's got it all figured out.
I'm so excited about this because this is like the start of we have a lot of planting to do.
If you saw our previous video, at the end, we showed you all these new containers that we just got that we need to plant in. And so we've got a lot of projects coming up. So we're starting to do that with these two containers. We're gonna show you that in just a minute.
It's like, I know, it's like this is the best time of year. I can't wait to get started.
It really is. So hey, let's go look at those containers.
All right, you guys, welcome back to our Pacific Northwest garden here in May. We've got lots of things coming into bloom. But what we want to show you are these, this planting project is right here. And we actually want these two containers to kind of guide the entrance into this area behind me here. This is a pleat container is what it's called from Crescent Garden. And it's this beautiful design. It has these, they look like pleats. Now this is a terracotta color, which we love. Sean and I love terracotta. It just goes with everything. But they have a whole bunch of other colors available as well. But we thought these would look really beautiful right here, side by side, kind of, again, as an entrance. And what we're gonna do is add these, now this is flowerful. This is this gorgeous new smooth hydrangea from First Editions, and it's gonna have these big white, like huge white ball flowers. So excited to add this to our garden. So imagine two beautiful hydrangeas with big white flowers just on either side. Okay, so I'm just gonna set this in here so you guys can get a visual of how that looks. Actually, it'll probably be set further back. So we already dug a kind of a mock hole, but we've changed our whole plan as usual. So we want to underplant these with all those fun annuals. If you saw our video a couple videos ago, we showed you all the new stuff that came in. Well, most of the new stuff. We have a lot more coming, but we thought these would look beautiful. So the idea is to pair a white scaevola here. This is a new scaevola. This is an actual fan flower, shape. And it has beautiful little dainty white flowers. And we thought, how pretty would that look paired with these big white ball flowers up top? And then kind of flanking on either side, just a simple, beautiful pink petunia. So that is kind of what we're thinking. What do you think?
I think that looks good. Let me come over and get everybody closer here.
Now we got to kind of spread these out a little better. This is just a quick mock planting.
Oh, that's gorgeous though. That's going to look so pretty.
I love it already. Now the sun comes from this angle over here most of the morning, and then it'll kind of get partial shade in the afternoon. This is basically where all of our plants are, and it is a really nice bright morning sun.
Yeah, and if you don't know, hydrangeas really like to have morning sun and afternoon shade because their leaves are a little bit more tender. They're not a very leathery type of leaf, so that intense sunlight isn't really good for them. So morning sun, afternoon shade, they do best in.
They're gonna thrive out here, and this container is gonna look so beautiful when everything starts trailing over, and this will kind of spread wider with the white flowers. So
beautiful.
I love it.
All right, guys, so we're getting ready to plant these. A couple things we wanted to talk to you about before we actually get these planted in these containers. Now, the first thing you should probably think about is how long do you want this plant to be in that specific container? And for us in this container, we know that this plant will grow in this container because of the size difference of this pot that it's growing in and what it's going to go into at least 2 or more years, which is great because we don't want to always be moving our plants around. That's stressful on them. And, especially these hardwood perennials, the less you move them around in your garden, the less stressed they're going to be, the more flowers and the healthier growth you're going to get out of them. Also, you need to think about how big of a root system is this plant actually going to get, and what does it need? Does it have more of a taproot system that goes really far down instead of out, or is it more of a surface type of root system that stays, in basically the 12 to 18 inches of the soil? So you need to think about some of these things. And in our case, hydrangeas are known to have more of a surface kind of root system. They spread out more. They don't go down like a taproot would, like on some of the trees and different perennials. So this is going to work really well for this container. So first things first, let's get this plant out of this container and see what we're looking at for the roots in this container. Because we got this plant last fall, and I wanna see what I'm looking at here. Okay, not too bad. We do have some roots. We can see roots all the way around this container, but nothing really woody, nothing really large. And even circling that we're gonna need to really cut through that's really big. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this at least into halves or maybe quarters, not too deep, but I wanna be able to splay this root out so we can get it in this container and make sure those roots spread out in the container and not stay in this configuration. So we're gonna use our hori knife. We're gonna use the aggressive edge, and we're just gonna punch in here really quick and start sawing this back. Get in here, we wanna break those roots up as best we can. So. And we can even score the sides, not dig in so much, but just score that so we encourage the roots to branch out from those areas. So as we talk about in a lot of our videos, we want to reiterate best practices for planting plants either in containers or out in the garden. Definitely match the soil level of the plant where it was at in the container with the final soil level in the container you're planting it in. To do that, we're going to do some trial and error, and we're just going to test this out and see. I've got a little hole dug here. We're going to put this down here and see where we're at. Nope, it's a little too high. We want this down at least 2 inches below the top rim of this container so we can have a nice reservoir when we go to water it all the time, and we can fill it with lots of water. So let's dig down a little bit more. And I would encourage each of you watching this to just trial and error it. You know, you're not gonna get it right at the very first time you dig it down. If you do, good for you, but you don't have to. Just trial and error and make sure just get it just right on that level of that soil. So we'll splay those roots in a little bit, maybe push this down a little bit. Okay, now we're getting there. Now, I need to ask the boss and see if she likes how this is positioned or if I need to move and position this, this hydrangea a little bit differently.
All right, let's see.
So honey, what do you think?
Maybe if you, yeah, wait, put it right there. I like that.
Like that, like that?
I mean, it was fine the other way too, but this kind of goes to the side now. Like,
well, and it's funny too, because when these plants are growing in containers, wherever you've had them, either in your garden since you bought them or where they were grown at, they're gonna always grow pretty much towards the sun. And if a grower's not constantly turning the plants, because they're not directly always facing the sun, it's always gonna have a little bit of lopsided growth, a place where it's facing the sun, not so much on the other side where it wasn't. So it's always good when you're placing these perennials to figure out where the front of it is and how it's facing and what you wanna see and face it in the container. Make sure you're getting that. So if we've got that position just where we want it, now we need to plant the other plants in here, are annuals.
I was going to offer to plant those, but you're doing such a good job.
Okay, sure.
Proceed.
Okay. Now, I can't remember the configuration you came up with. You
white in the middle.
So wait a minute. Well,
or scovola, I should
the
say.
scovola's in the middle, and the petunias are on the
Yes.
side. Something like that?
So cute. No, what's that petunia called again? Has a little grower name on it.
Petunia, potunia, plus spun sugar. There's a plus symbol, spun sugar.
And it's no guarantee that you'll find it listed as with that name when it's, let's see, this should be on the market right now, so you might be able to find it.
It might be under potunia. Yeah. It's a petunia, but then right after the name petunia, it's potunia.
I know, I've never seen that before.
Me either.
That's a Doom and Orange thing. That's this breeder that sent us these plants, and they have a line of potunias, they call them, pot petunias. I think that's where they came from.
That makes sense.
Just a thing they do, right? Just be different.
Oh,
Don't forget to look for slugs.
Yeah, right. This is slug season around here in the PNW. In fact, in cooler seasons, in cooler years, it's always slug season.
It's kind of always just 365.
Now, if you're noticing, I'm not really breaking up the roots on these, and the reason for that is on these annuals is because they are annuals, and the fun thing is when we're planting this perennial in here, this perennial is going to stay in this container for a little while, but with these annuals, once they're done, we can always just switch them out. So it doesn't really matter if their roots go all the way out and we break all these up. The less we mess with their roots right now, the faster they're going to establish, and the healthier they're going to be. They won't be so stressed out. So there's a little bit of a balance there. Some people say, no, break up the roots, get them well established in there. It's like, well, but it's going to take them a while to get established if you mess with their roots and break them up and rip them apart. So we're just going to plop them in. They're annuals. We're going to switch them out.
That sounds good. And I can, yeah, totally. Cooler weather, pansies and violas and different things.
Oh, yeah.
Now those seem a little low to me. Is there a reason why you're...
They're not low right now. They might look like it, but that's because there's no soil in here. But the soil level on these is right at where I want it.
Oh, gotcha.
You just,
okay.
I think it's because of the angle you're at where you
It looks
can't,
like
yeah,
I
you
can't
can't
see the
it.
plant. Where is
Plus they're little smaller plants. They're not as big as we want them yet.
short
So
in the middle.
yes, so but they will be amazing and beautiful. In the next couple of weeks, they'll grow nice and strong and tall. So I've got them right there. I'm going to fill the rest up with the soil. All right, guys, we forgot to add in what's called biotone, and this is like a supercharger for your soil, for your plants to get established faster and stay healthier and to flower sooner in your containers or in your garden. So we're gonna add that over the top of the soil before we water this in, and that'll help, and you can still use it that way. But there's other products out there to do the same thing. So one container's down, one to go. Let's get this done.
So while Sean's getting the rest of this, the second planter planted, we wanted to tell you a little bit more about this pleat container, because I don't think we told you the size yet. Now this is a 19-inch diameter, and it's also 19 inches tall. So it holds about 14 gallons of, soil and water and plants and everything. So it's a great container. We're really excited to add this to the garden. We love the height. It really adds that vertical interest, and pairing it with other containers, you can make like cute little displays. And I think we have a third pleat container the same size too.
Yeah, it's on the other side of the yard over there.
Yeah. Oh, maybe we'll put another hydrangea in that one too.
Yeah, totally.
But I love having these two. These will be so fun to watch fill in and trail, and I can't wait for the hydrangeas to bloom.
Yeah. These containers are fun too because they give wherever you put them, they give it kind of a more of a formal kind of a like, ooh, where are we going? This seems kind of important. That's what I see when I see these containers. So Allison's laughing at me, but
oh, that's cute. I like that. I've never heard it explained that way. I like that. They are formal, which we're not very formal people. Maybe that's what makes me laugh, but
yeah.
But the
Definitely.
Containers look beautiful. I mean, you can put any plant in them and they'll just like shine.
We have important looking containers.
We do. They're very important, and that's all we have to say about
It's
it.
like a main entrance. Grandiose.
Exactly what this, I like that. Well, and it's leading into our Crescent Garden container zone back there.
I don't think we could have picked a better container to represent the main entrance to where all the other Crescent Garden containers are going to be.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's take everybody in there when we're done here.
Sure.
Oh, I love that. The annuals are a lot fuller than the other ones, so these really like pop already.
Yeah. And after we get all these situated and the soil placed, we'll water these in. And then we'll be moving on to the next project.
Which is another hydrangea planting project.
Yes.
Or one coming soon. That's the one I want to show you guys next. Oh, that's so cute. I love it.
Yeah, do I get a thumbs up from
You
the
got
boss?
2 thumbs up.
Okay, good.
See if I can get
Okay.
it. There we go.
Okay, cool. Oh, the other fun thing is, I don't know if we've talked about this though, these containers are considered double-walled containers. They're not the true drop self-watering containers, but they do have these, so we'll have to water these. These won't self-water obviously, but they have what's called a double wall, and so there's an airspace in between this outer wall and the inner wall of the container, and it kind of acts as an insulation to the plant roots in the soil. So it can help keep the soil a little bit cooler in the summertime, and it can also keep it a little bit warmer and the frost away from the soil and the plant roots in the wintertime.
I'm really glad that we're trying out a bunch of these type of containers, because this will be perfect for the hydrangeas.
Oh yeah, it'll be great. Well, and it'll be fun to see how these plants do, especially the containers from year to year in these containers with the different kind of weather we get here.
All right, you guys, our entrance is ready for you to come on in. What do you think?
I think they look great.
I love them. I know, I can't wait. Okay, so, sorry, we have kind of a melee of plants everywhere. Here's our crescent garden area, which is under construction a little bit right now. And we've got plants that are going to be changed out of these beautiful slat. They look really pretty right now, but some of them are kind of like we haven't really been caring for the slugs back here or like treating for them. So they're kind of attacking all the pansies, which is a bummer.
They're doing okay. We've got some weeding that needs to be done over here. Oh, blackberries, okay. Woo!
Yeah, don't show that.
Okay.
But this is what we want to show you. Let me move our lilies here. So this is a really fun upcoming project.
Let me back up here a little bit so I can get, oh yeah, there we go.
It's just,
there's the full container.
So we have two of these. The other one is right over here by this lilac. Maybe we'll show that in a minute. Now this is a new container we're trying this year. This is a true drop self-watering container, but it's like a mini version of these. So it's called literally a slat square. How cute is that?
Really cool.
I love it. And we thought this will be really fun for this beautiful tree. This is a berry white panicle hydrangea tree form.
Yep, it's a tree form hydrangea.
So cool. Which
very
we've
fun.
Been wanting one of these for a long time.
And you can see it's leafing out, you guys.
Look at
really
it.
fun.
I can't
really
wait
fun
for
to
it
see
to
that.
bloom. Now this obviously is not going to be able to stay in here very long. We were thinking at least maybe 2 years max in this size, because this is a 5-gallon pot that it's in right now, and it's going into maybe like a 7-gallon, maybe 8. I forget, sorry, I can't remember the specs. But yeah, so not very long.
Okay guys, we didn't mention before, but before we wrap up here, these plants are gonna go through some transplant shock, and they're already starting to droop a little bit from me messing with the root systems, and we're getting them into these new containers. So they're gonna snap out of it in the next couple weeks.
We'll make sure we update you guys, and especially when they flower, but just showing you, how they progress through the season.
And if you have any comments or questions for us about what we did here today, how we did it, even more information on the plants that we didn't talk about that you want to know more about, definitely leave us a comment down below. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe, because we'd love to have you on our garden journey.
And thank you guys for being here and for watching, and stay tuned for our next video. Bye everybody.
Bye guys.